Is it normal for a married person to be best friends with someone of the opposite gender? Or ugly? Imagine being the friend and knowing this, but what if they are straight and hot? I'm confused. Are we talking about sex addicts? I love my partner. Why would I throw that away? So what if they are hot? I'm trying to be friends with them, not stare at them. Any married people reading this with a platonic BFF of the opposite gender? Does your spouse mind? Yes. No, they don't care at all. Any married people reading this whose spouse has a BFF of the opposite gender? Do you mind? Yes. No, I also don't care at all. It's normal. You're supposed to have friends of different genders and you're supposed to trust your spouse. If you can't do either, then it's time to look inside yourself and ask why. Damn, as a filthy bisexual, I guess I just have to be by myself. Can't be friends with anyone. This is always so wild to me. I'm bi and my partner is too, so by that logic neither one of us could be friends with anyone. Edit. Yeah, after reading some of these comments, I'm glad I'm not straight. My wife's best friend is a guy she's known since she was a kid. Thinks of him as more like a brother than anything else. I don't see why that would be abnormal at all. Hell, he was in our wedding party as what we called a bridesmaid. I think yes, it's normal for married people to have platonic best friends of the opposite gender. One of my oldest friends is a woman. She's my BFE, best friend for eternity. But I also consider my wife my best friend. And then I introduced them to each other, and they became best friends. It's all about trust, openness. I know my wife's friends, she knows mine, we have shared friends. I'm really close with women in general. I get along better with women. Most of my work friends are actually women. I'll usually have one male coworker I pal around with, and the rest will be women. I adore my wife. All of these women are platonic. My colleague's best friend is a man. He's unmarried, she's married. Her husband approves, nobody else matters. Lots of gossip and opinions that I have seen, mostly because they do things together a lot. I feel bad for them, but they don't care. Neither should anyone else. I think it can be completely normal. I know that there are also people that abuse this label to cheat on their partners. I have a completely platonic male best friend. We've been friends since we were kids. He's like a brother to me. Yes, it's normal for anyone, regardless of relationship status, to have friends of the opposite gender. My husband's best friend from the start of high school was a female who became one of my best friends as well. After she divorced her useless husband, we would all holiday together with our combined 6 kids. It never bothered me that they would frequently catch up without me there as their workplaces were nearby. They've been friends for over 45 years and she's been my friend for nearly 40 years. My best friend of 21 years is a married woman. We met in high school. She was dating a good friend of mine at the time. We have been friends ever since her husband and I get along great. We lived within a few miles of each other for years. Now I live about 700 miles away. We text almost daily. I even have a group text with her and her little sister that I have known for just as long. Yes, it is normal. When you get married, you don't and shouldn't have to cut everyone of the opposite gender out of your life. Despite what movies and TV may have you believe, platonic friendship between people of opposing genders is a real thing. If you are a spouse who thinks your partner should cut anyone of the opposite gender out of their life, then you have jealousy issues that you may want to discuss with a doctor. Yes, it's normal to have friends. I find it bizarre that this is often a question, and I hate the suggestion that married people can only be faithful if they don't interact with someone good-looking. It's a known fact taught bisexuals in a relationship can't have friends. Joking, of course. It's crazy to me that people would have a problem with this. Someone trying to control your friendships sounds toxic as hell to me. I'm a guy, my best friend was a woman. She passed away a few years ago. My wife always understood that we had been best friends for years. Nothing weird ever happened, nobody ever got jealous, and everything was fine. So I mean, it might not be common, but it can absolutely happen. I don't know why sexuality or looks have to come into okay. You said it's entirely platonic, why isn't this okay? Yes, in healthy relationships. Yes, it's normal to have friends, married, partnered or not, of any gender. If you have seen no inappropriate behavior, there's no need to police this. Having friends is good for everybody, especially if you are in a relationship. Super normal, but also important is the relationship between spouse and BFF. My best friend is a guy. My partner appreciated him so much he'll actually bring him up during disagreements. What do you think your best friend, who's known you more than half your life, would say to you if you explain this situation right now? Likewise, when my best friend met his now wife, we had an instant connection. We clicked like cousins that never met. Even making new friends or having attractive friends is cool. It's all about knowing how to read the vibe and keep your boundaries. Yes, totally.